Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new to my channel, make sure you guys subscribe, comment, like, whatever it is that you find, in your spirit to do. Today's video is going to be a incredible video. So I wanted to start the year out with motivational videos and just expressing my spiritual journey and actually capturing my spiritual journey. Yeah, so let's just get right into it. So I asked you guys some questions on social media, and I asked what it is that you guys want to ask me, like about my spiritual journey and things of that nature, and my walk with God. And a lot of you guys wanted to know, like, was I raised in church? And yes, I was raised in church. My grandmother raised me and my 5 other siblings, and we literally was church folks. Like, we literally have to go to church every time the church doors open. We had to be there. Even school nights, so Tuesday night prayer, Bible study, and things of that nature, we had to go. And I actually think what actually helped us develop a better prayer life, because a lot of people pray but they don't know how to pray or how to start prayer. But when you're around prayer warriors, it's no way that you could like not kill it in prayer. And I always talk so highly of prayer, because I feel like there's nothing like a prayer life. There's nothing greater than a prayer life, because once you develop a prayer life, that begins your journey and your walk with God, because now you're connecting with Him. Now you're, starting this relationship with God. And in order for you to have a relationship with God, you have to have a prayer life. You cannot have a relationship with God without having a prayer life. I don't care what no one say. Like, you cannot have a relationship with God without prayer. How? How? Oh, how? I definitely want you to talk about when your purpose connects to you to build a relationship with God. How do you know it's your purpose? Um, I feel like I don't know how I want to start off this answer, but like in reference to purpose, I feel like your purpose will always follow you no matter what. I feel like God will order your steps in your whole life to prepare you for your purpose. So say for instance, like me doing hair and me being homeless and things of that nature, I feel like God prepared me for my purpose, because now I have an organization that serves homeless women and children. I can connect with those women more. So maybe I didn't see it in the beginning that it was my purpose for me to walk through that, for me to experience that, for me to be where I am now. So I feel like now I'm walking in my purpose for me to help other people. And I feel like anybody's purpose is not about self. It's about what you could do to help God and what you could do to help other people. It's never about us. So I hope that sort of kind of answered the question. Okay, so the next question is, when did you know God had a calling over your life? Um, when did I know God had a calling over my life? Um, I wouldn't say I actually knew exactly, but what I would say is that um at the age of 12, I began to have like visions and dreams and things of that nature. One of my first visions was no, my first one of my first dreams was me going to a birthday party as a kid, and in the dream it was so specific. Like, it was very specific on the details of everything. So in the dream, they was giving out small pieces of birthday cake. And the next day we had to go to a birthday party, and um they was giving out small pieces of birthday cake, and I only told my sister, and I guess it was meant for me to tell someone the dream, because normally a dream is just a dream, but I told my sister, and my sister came up to me and said, "Wow, you said it was going to be small pieces of birthday cake." Like, the cake was like literally this small. My grandmother bought it from the grocery store, and it was like real small. And I literally dreamed that we was going to go to a birthday party and we was going to have small pieces of cake. So I should have already tapped in then. Like at 12 years old, I was already having dreams before things would even happen. I was already knowing. And yeah. Okay, so the next question is, how do you know if it's your voice or God's voice? That's a good question. Like, that's a great question, actually, because how I know that it's God's voice and not my own voice is when God first spoke to me. Um, he gave me something like he talked to me in ways I didn't talk to myself. So, um, the first thing he took baby steps with me in reference to talking to me, to me actually hearing his voice, and the thing that he said was abundance. And I don't use words like abundance. Like now I do. Like spiritually, I use the word abundance when I pray and things of that nature, but I had no clue what abundance meant. Like I had no clue. So when I heard the word abundance, I didn't even know what abundance meant. Like I knew what it meant, but I just didn't know like what did it mean spiritually for me to keep hearing this voice and just keep hearing it over and over again. Abundance, abundance, abundance. So at this time I was in church deep, but I was going to work. I was working at this job and I was in the process of being laid off due to me not having my diploma. And I kept hearing this word abundance, and I told my grandmother, and she told me abundance means to have more than enough. And after she told me abundance meant more than enough, God gave me the word prosperity. Once again, I don't use words like that. At this age, I didn't use words like that. I was very young, like, and I was in the streets, so I didn't use words like that. So I'm like, prosperity, like, what is prosperity? And every time I would get a word, I would present the word to people of God that can, tell me what these words meant and whatever. And prosperity just meant, to prosper, And the next word God gave me was clarity. Like, he didn't say clear. He didn't say any other thing that he could have said. He said clarity. 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 And I was like, okay. And after that, it just got the like being in my heart, and it'll continue to be in my mind. Now, if it was my own thought, it wouldn't be words like that. Not at that age, anyways. No. Mm-mm. You know how you have songs stuck in your head? That's exactly how my experience was with God speaking to me. It's like a song stuck in your head, and you have to look up the definition. You have to talk to people about it and all of that in order for you to finally get it out of your head. So, yeah, hope that answered your question. The next question was, were you raised in church? Yes, I was raised in church. My grandmother raised me and my siblings in church. We had to go to church every time the church doors open, as I once said. Did you run from your calling, or did you say yes right away? I definitely ran from my calling. I definitely did not want to be I did not want to get saved at an early age. A lot of times we take God for granted. And I feel like in my situation, I just was like, you know what? I'm going to wait till I get old, and then I'm going to worship God and take God serious and things of that nature. But when God have plans for your life, he's not going to let you run. Um, no matter how you try to hide. Jonah got swallowed by a large fish because he was trying to run. You know what I'm saying? So when God has a calling for your life, there's no way that you could just run, and he's not going to run behind you. He's coming. So yeah, I ran in the beginning, but yet um and the way that I ran is I didn't want people to touch me in church. Like I did not want nobody to lay hands on me. I did not want people to pray over me. Nothing. Like I feel like I must have had like a demonic spirit or something in me, or maybe the devil had more power over me than God did at the time, because the devil will force himself on you. God, he won't force himself on you. He's gonna knock at the door, and it's up to you to answer. See, the devil, he'll break in the door and just do whatever it is that he want to do. It's it's just that. So, like I said, I wouldn't let people pray over me or pray for me or anything like that. I was scared of the Holy Ghost. I just was like, no, I don't want that feeling. I don't want to fall out. I don't want to dance. I don't want to do none of that stuff. And yeah, sorry. What's your thought on generational curses? Do you have any suggestions on how to break the cycle? Yes, it's up to you. Because just like it's a such thing as generational curses, there's a such thing as generational blessings. A generational curse could be anything. So, for example, say for instance, my grandmother was a teen mom, and my mom became a teen mom, and then I became a teen mom. That's a generational curse. It's up to you by breaking that curse by saying, okay, I'm gonna take a stand. I'm not gonna be like my mother. I'm not gonna be like my grandmother. And for example, how I broke my generational curse in my family was I told myself that I was going to become a homeowner. I was going to become a millionaire. And I'm working like so hard and so diligently to become something that I know will bring generational blessing in my life and break generational curses. So being married, raising my children in a two-parent household, that's generational curse being lifted. My mom was never married. My grandmother, she was a single mom. She was married for maybe like a small amount of time, but her husband was like not there, and she came here with two of her kids. So no one was ever raised in a two-parent household. My aunt didn't, my mom didn't, my grandmother didn't, her sisters didn't. So I feel like I broke generational curses by having a two-parent household. And my boys, I'm not with their father, but yet he's very involved in their life. So I feel like by my boys having a male role model, that's breaking generational curses also. They don't only have my boy's father, they have my husband, and they have other good male figures in their lives. My brother, my little brothers, they, fell into the system. One of my brothers is incarcerated right now, and my other brother, he's just running the streets. And it's because they did not have any type of male figures that can, point them or, put them in the right positions, in the right places on what work ethic is, on, being a man, raising a family, providing, and things of that nature. So I feel like it's cool to be an independent woman and things of that nature, but when you raising young men, young kings, they definitely need some type of male role model. You cannot show a boy how to be a man as a woman. You can't. Do you believe the gift of discernment? Yes, I believe the gift of discernment. I can tell if your energy is off based on a text message, based on a conversation. So yes, I can tell. I can tell. Like I can tell if you're an opportunist. Like just everything. Like I can just read you. I can just read you. Like I can read you. You can't get past me. And one thing about the devil, he gonna always have to expose his stuff. So even if I see something and don't say nothing, I can still read you. Like I was invited to a get together and whatever, and um right away I could tell by this group of women that it was a conversation that was had about me previous, and like, I never met these girls a day in my life, but I could tell, like, coming in, they like, I felt the spirit, like jealousy in this girl's spirit towards her own friend. Then I felt like it was a spirit towards me of like hate for no reason, but it wasn't for no reason. I'm pretty sure there was a conversation that was had about me, and it's crazy because I felt it. I felt that energy. Like I felt it. Even though no one said nothing or nothing like that, it was like you could just feel it. Like women intuition is always true too. Um yeah, women intuition is always true. I had a guy that actually had a baby, and God told me that he was having a baby. So the next question is, are you a prophet? I don't I don't really use the term prophet and whatever. I feel like that's like major because I can't, like, I don't always get a word for somebody else. Like, and when I do, I make sure I tell them right away. Definitely if it's important, I make sure I tell them right away. But um, I don't know. Maybe I am a prophet. So the guy I had a dream that he was having a baby on me, and the baby was a little girl, and he really was having a baby on the way, and it was a little boy. And when I was no longer in a relationship with him, he was like, "How did you know that I had a baby?" And then it's crazy because like he actually says like, dude, God don't play about you. And it's crazy because like my relationship with God is so deep to where people think that I do witchcraft. Like people be like, oh, da 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 da, she do witchcraft and da 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 da. Man, listen, I don't do witchcraft, but I will pray. And whatever God do, it is what it is. That's between you and God. Maybe you just felt like it was, like me because you said something about me or you did something towards me and then something bad happened. That's gonna have nothing to do with me. I don't pray like for God to kill anyone, hurt anyone, or anything like that. Okay, so it was this situation where um it was this guy and he was like, I will never talk to you again, I will never need you again, da 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 da, like talking mad stuff. And I was learning to develop a prayer life and not always quick to just like be angry and like, be upset. So I was learning to like fight in prayer. So I prayed about it and literally I cannot make this up. Like, oh my children, like I cannot make this up. Literally 15 minutes later after I prayed, I received a phone call that he was in a car accident. And I was like, and I didn't want to say like, okay, God, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't be on stuff like that. And like, it happened so fast and it's crazy because what was confirmation was when you know, the same person you just said I would never need again, the same person had to pick you up from the hospital. So I go pick the person up from the hospital and he's just like, that's crazy. I was just telling you I would never need you again. And then all of a sudden I just totaled my whole car. And I just was like, okay. So to all you guys that, think you have to physically fight someone or somebody did you dirty or whatever case may be, put a prayer on them. It is what it is. Put a prayer on them. Like just for your own mental health and like, for you to just get back to doing you, forget all of that extra stuff. Like nobody want to sit around and dwell on whatever is happening, say a prayer and let it go. Like whatever happened to them, happened to them. That ain't got nothing to do with you. But also don't allow people to just come back in your life when they want to. I cannot stand when old friends try to like come back into my life. Like I don't like I'm straight. I'm good. And I say that in the most humblest way. Like I'm not being mean. I know you have to let things go. You have to forgive and all of that. But no, like once you cross me, you lost me. I'm almost 30. Like I'm 28 years old. Like I don't have time for kiddiness. I don't have time for you having an attitude every 5 seconds and I'm trying to figure out what it is that I did to you for you to be acting funny now or whatever the case may be. No, not going to do it. I cannot do the whole making up, breaking up thing. No, not going to do it. Like, no. And the only person who I will ever do that with is my own husband. And me and him don't even make up and break up. Like, we don't break up. And yeah, I feel like all those friendships that I let go, that is permanently like or whatever relationship it was. Like it don't have to be even with friends. It could be with family. It could be with, anybody. Like I just let go and let God. I'm done. Like once I'm done, I'm done. I block you. And that's just what it is. Cause I need to just be mentally stable to focus on what I need to focus on. And I can't focus on what I need to focus on if I'm being like tempted to hurt you or feel some type of way about you. That takes too much energy to be mad at somebody. It takes too much energy to hate somebody. It takes too much energy to be jealous or envy or anything like that. So I just let go and I let God. How do you get closer with God? And it's the last question. How do you get closer with God? Is like I said in the beginning, is prayer. Develop a prayer life. Also, focus on the word of God, which is the Bible. It's so many good It's so many good books in the Bible. So many. The book of David, the book of Moses, the book of Job. Like, it's so many. Cain and Abel, like Joseph. Like, it's so many amazing books in the Bible. And just connecting with God and just seeing what he done for those people and what he will do and can do for you, it's amazing. It's amazing. Like, there's no other feeling than the feeling of having a connection with God and growing closer to God. So meditation, prayer, the word, and most importantly, praise and worship. Praise and worship is like so important because I feel like, you know how songs can make you feel some type of way? Like R&B songs can make you feel sad. Rap songs can get you amped up to fight. I feel like spiritual songs and gospel songs will get you in the spirit of faith. Like, break every chain, for example. Like, you like, there's power in the name of Jesus. Like, break every chain, God. Like, and I know that you would. Like, so I feel like that's how you can connect with God. That's how you can grow a deeper relationship with God. And, you know, in order for you to have a relationship with God, you have to be intimate with God, being in God's face, getting to know God. Hey, how you doing? You don't have to start off, as, a preacher or anything like that. You can just start off just, hey, how are you, God? It's me, Jessica, and I just really want to get closer to you. I want to get to know you. Can you possibly, come into my presence? Can I feel you? Like, cause God would definitely let you feel his presence. He will definitely, like, anything, like, if it's gonna benefit God, he don't mind doing it. He don't mind doing it. Like, I love God. I love God so much. Like, I never had like a natural father. So like my spiritual father, like Sky Daddy, that's the man. Like, I love God so much. Like, I used to be scared of God. Like, I do still fear God, but it's like in a loving way to where I don't want to be disciplined. Like, no, Dad, like, I'm sorry. It's not fearful in a bad way anymore, because when I was raised in church, I was raised of like fearing God in a bad way, like, oh, don't do that, or God gonna get you, and this and that, da 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 da. And I don't raise my kids like that. I raise my kids to love God and to actually know God, and man, like, God is just so amazing. I love God. I love God. There's no other relationship that could amount to the love that I get from God. Even though I may not see him, I can feel him. I can feel his presence. And I appreciate that. Like, I appreciate having a connection with God to where I can see things before it happen. I appreciate the relationship I have with God to where I can hear his voice and know his voice. I appreciate the relationship I have with God to actually understand that he's a forgiving God and that he loves me no matter what I do, and that I have a chance, and that I do want to live right, and I do want to live for him, and I do want to bring other people closer to Christ. So yeah, that's just what I have, and I'm gonna make this a part one. I may have a part two in the future. So if you guys like this, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you guys subscribe and comment other questions, actually. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Be blessed. God love you. I love you. Bye.